Hello everyone and welcome to Callahan Runner's Advanced Playground, or CRAP for short. Today I will teach you all of the different moves and tricks in Mirror's Edge Catalyst. I genuinely recommend this spot if you want to try out different tricks, because it has a lot of good spots for that. So if you want to check it out, look out for this massive Callahan billboard and you will never miss it. The tricks are ordered from the easiest to the hardest. Feel free to go down, check out the timestamps, and jump to the tricks that are interesting to you. Now, let's start. You may have noticed that sliding slows you down, but also getting up from the slide slows you down. Something that many people don't know is that you can press the dash button to get out of the slide while keeping a lot of the momentum. Let's say you want to jump through this gap. As you can see, it's quite hard to do, maybe even impossible without grabbing all the poles around it. But if you coil during the jump, you will actually prevent any animations from happening and therefore go straight through. Additionally, using the crouch button you can cancel a wall run at any moment. You can do the same with a wall climb. And when I say at any moment, I mean it. At the start, at the end, you can just drop down, and it's quite useful in some situations. Jumping off of obstacles is one of the most basic moves in Mirror's Edge Catalyst. However, the game tells you to hold the space button, but you cannot listen to the game and instead press space button twice. The second time, when you're on top of the obstacle, to do the same thing. In general, jumping off of obstacles is quite flexible. You can do it without starting the animation. When the animation starts, you can hold the space button, press it twice. You can even change your mind and instead of jumping over the obstacle, actually jump off of it very late into the animation. These obstacles have one more use. They can actually soften your landing if you land correctly. You have to make sure though that you do not land right on top of the obstacle, because then Faith, while jumping off of it, will still get hurt. Another way of softening your fall is to roll off a ledge. Therefore, you reset your fall damage and you can land much lower with just one roll. For comparison, I jump off every single ledge and roll when I need to. It's way slower. Now let's say you need to run a long way without many obstacles at all, but just with one wall on your side. Well, you can obviously just hold W and you'll get there fast enough, but you can do it faster. First of all, you can use what is called the wall boost. The game pulls you towards the wall when you jump to it. To do that, it speeds you up. You can actually preserve that speed by jumping off of the wall as soon as you get that speed, and therefore gain free speed. You can either keep wall boosting, or you can preserve your speed using bunny hopping. If you jump right as you touch the ground while having additional speed, Faith will do this kind of weird motion. It's kind of hard to explain, but you'll see it immediately, and she will preserve the speed. Now here's the comparison of all three ways. As you can see, bunny hopping and wall boosting over and over are very similar, and neither is significantly better than the other. Another way of gaining speed while jumping off of a wall run is to clip boost. If there's a small object on the wall, you can wall run into it and then jump off. The object will push you away from it, therefore giving you a speed boost. It's quite hard to see on this. Let me show you a better example. Jumping off of a wall run can have one more interesting use. If you just go up this ramp, you lose a lot of speed by turning around. However, if you jump on the wall and jump off instantly, you still change your direction, but don't lose as much speed. Now let's say you want to jump across this gap. It's barely possible at maximum speed. But what if you don't have as much space? Well, you can just turn around, stand on the very edge, and dash backwards. This will give you a lot of speed, and then you just turn around and you can grab the ledge. Another way of making it across the gap is to delay your wall run. You don't really have a choice here, but yes, it is possible and often very useful. Here it can be used to gain that additional bit of height. And just so you know, you can also redirect yourself during a roll. Now time for a difficult challenge. We want to climb these containers, but the normal ways that the game teaches us don't really allow us to do that. So we're gonna have to find our own way. Let's see what we can do. We can chain 2 wall climb Q-turn jump chains. However, what we can also do is gain additional height and space by delaying jumping after the Q-turn. This can be very easily seen in this example. There is a problem though. In our challenge we don't have 2 walls facing each other. What we can do though is chain a wall run and 2 wall climbs. If we're fast enough we can redirect our jump after the Q-turn, therefore letting us wall run the other wall even though it's not facing the first wall. Using the delayed jumps we can actually get up. Hooray! Challenge done! But let's say we can't wall run. What now? We can't delay our wall climbs enough. Well, using the redirection that we already kind of used, we can do a full 180 and catch the ledge that is just a little above Faith. Redirecting our jumps is already a theme, so let's now redirect jumping off of a ledge. If we do it well enough, we can actually skip the climbing animation and get a shorter vault-ish animation. It's pretty cool. Now time for another challenge. Let's get to that beam over there. Well, with what we've learned so far, it may be kinda hard, but keeping in mind the redirection, we can actually do it. If we jump off of a Q-turn and then turn our mouse fast enough, we can actually jump to this side instead of away from the wall, therefore letting us jump onto the beam quite easily. And don't worry if you cannot turn your mouse fast enough or the timing is too tight for you. After the Q-turn, open your map and turn around in the map. This will actually also turn your camera while the game is paused and therefore allow you to do all of these tricks much easier. Now for probably the hardest trick. What you can do when you have a corner is you can do a corner wall climb. If you rotate your camera fast enough, you can make Faith wall climb, Q-turn jump, and then turn around and wall climb the wall on the other side of the corner. It's difficult and sometimes very finicky, especially if the surface is not flat, but it allows you to do some really cool things. You can also do the same from a wall run, and even chain a wall run into that corner climb, into another corner climb if the surface is right. Kinda crazy. So you may or may not have noticed that sometimes while jumping onto the big cushion thing, sometimes I get up quickly and sometimes slowly. Well, if you press the crouch button at the right moment, your standing up animation will actually be faster. I just kinda spam it. I don't really know the timing actually. Let's just quickly compare the length of the animations here. Now for the weirdest trick in the game. So, after learning all of the above, you managed to get yourself in a really weird place and now you can't get down. Well, what do you do? If you position yourself just on the edge, you can actually glide down. The setup is very simple. You go very slowly backwards until Faith's knee bends in this very specific way. Then you crouch and move back at the same time. And then this happens. You can always break it by Q-turning. Another way of setting it up is crouching on the edge and going backwards until Faith's fingers are barely touching the edge. Then get up and do the same thing, crouch and go backwards. You will glide again. Then you can just let Faith glide down or do something, break it at some point and, I don't know, go down the zipline. Your choice. Now for the most important trick in the game. I left the best for last. So, if you hold S while swinging and jump off, alright, I think that's all the tricks in the game. Maybe I'm wrong though, feel free to correct me in the comments. Thank you very much for watching, I hope it was informative, and well, see ya!